your unit is given orders, set up camp in the town, and you pushed hard enough. We're on schedule. Plus, we need to get all the give time for all the other units to catch up, artillery, and
What's this? A
you know.
German breakthrough regiment waiting for the infantry to catch up? It is nice to be early war, isn't it?
Fair enough. So yeah, you're just given some time to not technically a free load. You're supposed to stay within the town. You're free to go about the town, or set up, help set up camp.
Yeah, now we
Go
make
shopping.
bivouac.
Right. So, did you take any financial modifiers? Rich, poor, very poor.
I'm average, but I have a family.
Templates.
Well, I will browse the shops. Are there shops? And I'm just strolling around town. And I do not remember if I've brought my money. But I'm just enjoying the view and basking in the calm of a properly Germanized area that's been suitably sedated.
Well,
enjoying what must be looks of admiration from the locals. I'm sure I look quite dashing in my uniform.
All right, so cool. You have $10,000.
Oh, goodness. Is this worth about $5 American?
This would be worth around $3,000 American.
Oh, goodness. Okay. So I have some money, yeah.
Well, no, you don't. Because you have a family that cost you 90 character points. Will say that you leave 90% of your wealth with them.
That seems about right.
They've got things to take care of. You have about 1,000 Reichsmarks, about $300.
So I could buy a schnitzel this year. This is good. I will go in search of chocolate. And is there a local specialty I could send back to the children? One each for the girls.
Cool. Go ahead and I guess IQ roll.
Okay. Okay, I rolled a 7 and I have an IQ of, I think it was like 14. It's pretty great. Yeah, 16. I am Galaxy Brain. So not only do I find it all, I've heard about the resistance movement as well.
Well, not quite that good, but you do hear of there is a shop in town that sells handmade sweets.
Sweets are nice. Anything cute, like a toy for the girls?
I mean, you might check the general shop for things like that.
Yeah, I'll bet they're having a fire sale right now. Not a lot of call for dolls and toys among the refugees.
Jeez. It would turn out they're not having any kind of sale.
Well, I doubt they would have prices labeled anyway, but I could strike up a thrilling conversation with the shopkeep. I'm sure we could speak one businessman to another. He might not even notice that I'm a German tank crewman. Who's to say?
Yeah, not gonna notice your, black uniform and giant oversized beret.
Ja, guten Tag, Heil Hitler.
That you speak German and not Polish.
Oh, I should start learning Polish. It'll probably take me a couple of weeks to learn, so I should get started now. That's a good idea.
Well, yeah, you could start learning Polish if you found somebody willing to teach you.
All I need are the books, really. I have a 16 intelligence and a 5 language talent. So,
I have
yeah.
very high IQ.
Oh, I would very much like to get a Polish Bible. Okay, those are probably in great supply as well. So yes, let's strike up a conversation with the shopkeeper along the category of delightful Polish dolls, preferably dressed in Polish garb for the girls back home.
General store shopkeep?
Why not? He
right.
would know other shopkeepers, maybe someone who has something cute and local, with local flavor. But also, I'd like to buy some chocolate. So while I'm buying chocolate, I'll talk to him.
Go up to him and start talking to him, and he kind of looks at you funny and gets a little nervous.
And my demeanor is just very warm and friendly. I smile a lot with a big, genuine smile. I actually have an affection for this man as a shopkeeper, as a newly minted German subject, and I just love the business and the commerce, and I understand that times are hard, and I'm just very excited to spend my Reichsmarks, I suppose.
Jeez. Okay, well, go ahead and roll 3d6 for me. And this will be your first reaction roll. Well, I find...
Oh boy, it's a 14!
Alright. So, with 14, but you're putting your best face forward, as opposed to your worst face, do you have any charisma modifiers?
What would those be?
Things like a good voice, good looking.
Oh, well, my wife says I'm hard to kill. I hope that won't play into this conversation.
Just walk up. I am very hard to kill. Okay. So actually, 14 is good.
Oh, good.
The NPC likes characters and will be helpful. Then everyday limits, reasonable request will be granted. So he looks at you and smiles and says something in Polish. You don't know.
Oh, it's sign language time. Delightful. I do have. I'm exceptionally good at making sense out of what people are trying to tell me. Hi, baby. And so I'm going to. Well, we've introduced ourselves. I'm just going to start browsing around and picking out chocolate and what am I looking for? I want a Polish Bible. I want chocolate, and I want a dictionary that can translate this Polish to German for me.
Alright, go ahead and give me an IQ roll. Stats.
I've rolled 11. 16 IQ.
Alright. So, you do not find a dictionary. But you do find everything else on your list.
Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and add that chocolate.
I mean, you find it.
How much?
To pick it up, but
how much chocolate? Let's just go for. Okay, so chocolate's in bars, and I'm just gonna go with how many chocolate bars are there?
There's a fresh box, made in Germany.
Isn't this delightful?
Let's say a box of 50, but there's 2 missing.
Well, I suppose I could take what's left.
All 48.
Oh, they will get spent. If they don't sit too close to the heating elements in the tank. Well, chocolate syrup is delightful anyway.
Yeah. Melts in your tank, not in your mouth.
I assume the general store would also be selling tobacco.
Hello there! Welcome to
Alright.
the shop, Tobacco. See what I did there? It's a pun on your name and tobacco, which is presumably why you are here. I'm delighted to see you, Commandant.
Commandant, okay.
I've been promoted to Commandant. This is good, I have more to spend now. I don't know what to say. I was just here buying chocolates, and I've been promoted to be your contemporary. I can't say I didn't see it coming, but I'm pleased nonetheless. And now I'm trying to buy 48 chocolate bars and a Polish Bible. I've put them on the counter and I'm looking for a price. So I'm just kind of putting Reichsmarks on the table and seeing what the reaction of the shopkeep is. Or maybe Baka if he thinks I'm being a complete idiot. Which is probably the case. Oh, yeah. And what is his face telling me about what he just said to me? Is he pleased? Does he look like
he's a bit surprised? A little unhappy, but not upset at you?
He was probably hoping for that antiquated Polish money. It will not be any good around here, I am thinking, for the near future. What would the going rate for chocolate back home be? I think I'll start with that amount and add 50% to it on account of the hard times.
Okay. So it costs about 1 Reichsmark a bar.
Okay. Yeah, this is good. I will do as I said. 48 Reichsmark. 48 Reichsmarks plus 50%. I'm sure he could use it. These are sure to be trying times as they convert to German citizenship. The prices, the lifestyle, much more. How do you say? Expensive. He will need new clothes, I'm sure. He looks very Polish right now. 48 and 50%, 18 intelligence. I figured it out already, but I need to roleplay this, you see. 50, 60, 70, 72 Reichsmarks, if I'm not mistaken. That is what I've put on the counter.
He frowns and says, Nie może uciec pieniędzy.
Yes, a good day to you as well. I will take my chocolate and my Babylon go. Oh, it's the Bible. I've forgotten to pay for it. I'll put another 20 Reichsmarks on the table.
He kind of reaches for the goods to keep you from walking away with them. And, starts setting bars aside.
I see. He would like to gift wrap some for me. Well, in that case, he would probably... I'll be very generous. I will give him another 20 Reichsmarks. It's now a total of 112 Reichsmarks on the table, if I'm not mistaken.
He kind of scratches his head, looks at all the stuff.
I'm sure he would like something as a token of my appreciation. I know. I'm sure to have a watch on me. I will show him the beautiful workmanship of the watch, and now I've forgotten what I'm doing. Out of the store, you say? Okay, I will go. By the way, Kamerad, do you speak Polish?
Before you can leave, though, the shopkeeper gets a good look at your watch and starts gesturing, and offers you 8 chocolate bars and the Bible. And has one hand out expecting the watch. Speak 'em trade.
In this case, I will gladly add another 4 chocolate bars. I'm worth it. I'm sure he will discover the great workmanship of the watch, and we have ourselves a deal. I'll build another one in my spare time.
Okay, so you take 12 bars then?
Yeah.
Alright. He looks, he frowns a bit,
pass
but
up such a deal.
Looks at the watch. It is a nice watch, so yeah, he looks at it and nods, and shrugs, looking at the large stack of chocolate bars.
I will show him. I will show him. There is an extra button on this watch. You see, I've made this to be a stopwatch as well. You can time things. Unlike other watches you might see, you see. I tinker around, you see. So I show him that it's also a stopwatch. I'm sure he'd be very happy.
He looks at it and watches it. Because, it's just a manual watch. I don't know how it would be a stopwatch as well.
I design watches. Perhaps I've told you this. Should I roll to see if it's a stopwatch?
Yeah, give me a watchmaking roll.
We will just pretend that I've built this in my spare time, on account of I do not sleep very often. This is the watch I carry on me at all times.
Your regular pocket watch.
I have rolled a 6, and my skill in watchmaking is... baby... 17. I'm very good.
So you've succeeded by 11. So yeah, it's a perfect watch. Couldn't ask for a better watch. But the guy still kind of nods and puts it in his pocket. Starts setting the other candy bars behind the counter. A little worried. Looking at UAC.
I'm going to make my way past the man with chocolate bars in his hands, I guess.
A dozen of them at least, and a Polish Bible.
Wait, the shopkeep or Tosh?
Tosh.
My name is Gunther.
Guntosh. And I will approach the shopkeeper, looking if he's got tobacco.
Adieu, Commandant, as they currently say in France today. Probably not tomorrow.
Go ahead and give me a roll, AC. Let's see how he reacts to you.
Hi, baby. Dice! Down low. Can you do low?
14.
That is the opposite of
Alright,
low.
14.
Yeah.
Same as last time. Although there is a slight modifier. Because how the last transaction with the German soldier went. He still smiles and nods and, shrugs. He doesn't speak German. Doesn't know what to tell you.
I also have charisma.
So it doesn't matter. You're much, cooler looking than the other guy. But so yeah.
I'm gonna pull out my pipe from my pocket and tap on the...
That wasn't even close.
Give me that gesturing roll.
I think it'd be pretty obvious what he wants now, but maybe the shopkeep's a little slow.
5.
Titan? He says, reaching under his counter and producing a small tin. It's got Polish writing on it.
He's got a knife! He's coming right for it! No! I shouldn't even joke about that. I don't want to inherit a general store right now.
He's got a weapon!
You reached under the desk, officer.
6th Panzer Division, also known as Hitler's LAPD.
Merchant roll. 12 out of 12.
Prosi. O niemiecki pieniędzy. Polskie pieniędzy. Prosi.
I think what he's trying to say is, my tricks don't work on me, only money.
12 out of 12 for merchant.
Alright, well, it's obvious he's not going to hand it over for Reichsmarks.
I could make him hand it over for Reichsmarks.
Yeah. Or if you had something in your pocket, that you could possibly trade. But,
I'll pull out
that's
one biscuit and put it on top of the Reichsmark.
He looks at your vicious
Nazi Patrick at its
anti-tank
finest.
biscuit. Looks at the biscuit, sniffs it, sets it down, kind of slides
Checks
it back
stat
to you.
card.
It's not in his. He's on a keto diet. He can't have any bread.
17 meters per second muzzle velocity.
I'm going to open up the latch on my holster.
All right, he gets that gesture. His size
I have
and
commandant is
offers you the
explaining
10.
German law.
I'm going to hand him the rest of the ration, and so including the meat, and then just leave the Reichsmarks.
Nie prosi.
I think that's how you say I don't want any trouble in Polish. Or maybe it's don't shoot me. I think we're going to hear it
Thank
a
you
lot
for
more
coming
often,
to
though.
my fine establishment, sir.
Mam rodziny.
Meanwhile, I'm just walking down the street going, I've made so many friends today. I like this pair. These two make a good pair.
Tosh, while you're walking down the street, you come across some other tankers throwing something to each other over a small child, obviously upset. Although the German soldiers, they're having a great time.
You there, fellow tankers. What is the game? This child looks like he's missing the point of it.
It's a game of catch. And you look at your arms, kind of full.
I've bought chocolate!
Set it down. Play with us.
I'm
Going to be catching up after Toshio after the store.
So, have I noticed, with my keen elven eyes, what they are throwing?
Sure. Go ahead and give me a dexterity roll as well.
Hey.
Alright, so you not only notice it, but you catch it, a small stuffed bear.
Oh, this is adorable. You're being cruel to the boy. He is too young to grow up as a soldier by defeating you all in single combat, as I'm sure as a freshly minted German subject he would do. So I will return it to the boy, and I will give the soldier who has thrown me the bear half of a piece of chocolate as a way of as a way of thanking him for his kindness.
Do any of these guys happen to be from any of the tanks that I command?
Sure enough, yeah, they seem to be from tank number 1. Or, hold on, no, I'm sorry. You're tank number 1. Tank number 2. Although, as you hand off the half a bar of chocolate...
In that case, chocolate for all of them.
Okay, so 2 halves of chocolate, although as the kid starts to run away with his little stuffed bear, one of them trips him, laughs a bit, and turns to accept his chocolate.
The little scab. It's nice to see them playing with the locals. I now have 11 pieces of chocolate.
They straighten up and stand at attention, give you the regular salute of European armies. You know.
Would you mind explaining to me what was happening here?
We were playing with one of the locals. We have nothing better to do. Gunther was just about to join us, even offered the boy chocolate. But
Yes.
it appears
You
the boy is
were
not fun to
Gunther.
play with Gunther.
We're also looking for a money changer. I heard there are lots of them in Poland. Yes.
Well, I think an inspection of the tanks is in order, and if I find anything wrong with yours, you'll be sure to be not at the front for very long. Is that understood?
Oh, Commandant, I get to inspect the panzer. I right away.
They look at each other and nod.
Glad
Yeah,
we
they're
are
not
all in understanding. Off.
This is so exciting. I clearly heard him to tell me to do a full work down on the engine. So I'll go ahead and make my way back to the tank, and if I have time to get there, I'm going to use my mechanic petrol engine skill to examine and perform any maintenance that needs to be done, and maybe a little bit that doesn't need to be done right now, but wouldn't presumably take more than 3 or 4 hours.
If you break this tank, I swear.
Alright, go ahead and
Also,
give me
I do need to make a roll to not go further than I intend to go, because I'm very curious about the tank engine. I've rolled a 7.
Right, well, sure enough, you don't disassemble the whole tank. But you notice that, yeah, you've got about half a tank of fuel. And could probably use an oil change as well.
Well, in that case, I roll a 9 on my mechanic petrol engine, and I have a skill of 14.
So, you work on the engine for a while. Man, Blitzkrieg always makes me sleepy. Sure enough, by the end of the day, it's looking in better shape than you left it.
Now this Panzer is purring like a panther.
What's a panther? Like a cat?
Yeah, it's a cat.
What a silly name for a tank. No
Could
one
you
would ever
believe
name a
it?
tank a panther.
Tanks should have numbers. Numbers are exciting.
55T 4H. It's like an algebra problem. It's wonderful.
Yeah, und checks. Soon we will have Polish tanks, I'm sure. As soon as we fix their economy.
Uh-huh. But first we have to get rid of their weapons of mass destruction.
Yes, these World War I cannons have been very frightening to watch them operate and hope that their crew does not explode.
Alright. So, AC, what are you going to do for the next few hours? I mean, I think some administration is in order.
Yeah, I have to talk with some higher-ups about what previously happened, talking about what our next plans are, logistics of the platoon and such.
Mine promotion.
Alright. Well, you go up to the Hauptmann, and he explains that the scouts have gone up to the river, and they cannot find a decent crossing for the wheeled vehicles. Shallow enough to drag the tanks across, but it's too rocky.
Have they tried caulking the floorboards and fording the river?
It's not deep enough to ford.
Johnny has died of diphtheria. We lost 17 pounds of bacon and 75 pistol shells. Colonel.
So...
Yep, he's playing with unpopped popcorn kernels in my big ol' popcorn bowl.
Oh...
Colonel.
Well, AC, go ahead and give me that administration roll. Yeah. Hand your papers into the Hauptmann, and he looks them over, frowns. Vaki, was ist das?
Apologies, Sir Hauptmann. Continuous movement with the tanks has left the formalities of paperwork a little to be desired. It will never happen again.
But I will admit, you have spent more time fighting than Schmidt. I will grant you an exception for now. But by the time we reach Warsaw, I hope this has improved.
Thank you, Hauptmann.
All right. So, on to the next day, September 4th. Trucks have been moving in, some of them during the night, but a lot more now during the morning.
That's 2 days to my birthday. Will there be fireworks?
So as you pull up, you get orders to move south. We're not going to Warsaw right now. We are going to be pushing to the town of Ilza. Scouts have reported little resistance in these directions, so it should be a piece of cake.
So,
Alright, no what?
Could we assume that I've picked up a Polish dictionary by now?
No, we can't.
Ugh. But my tank commander speaks Polish, so in the spare hours, I would very much like to. Did he say that he did? Do you speak Polish?
Oh no, you've been hit. That was the round ricocheting off the hull. Okay.
Nein, I do not speak Polish.
I will have to find someone. So, does anyone in our... anyone that I rub shoulders with speak Polish? I'd very much like to learn from them. There's
Did
chocolate
you ask
involved.
the Japanese exchange student?
He was far too busy humming lines to anime. Tried to strike up a conversation, but he just said "Tenno hikabansa." I do not know what this means.
Moving through almost desert-like terrain on the fringes of the Lisa Gora Mountains. At least that's according to somebody who was in the 6th Panzer Division at the time.
Well, if it's a dessert, I've brought some chocolate to put on top of it.
I mean, it's not like hot, it's just sandy. But for the next 50 hours, your tanks cover 310 kilometers, and you reach Vistula, September 9th. Alright. So as you move through the town, you hear the hum of airplane engines. Nothing new to you, but there's been no Polish resistance lately.
I have very keen hearing. Are these well-tuned German engines, or are they sprickety Polish airplanes? Something that does not sound German to me.
Alright, go ahead and give me a... Yeah, go ahead and give me an IQ roll. Plus however many points of acute hearing you have.
Yeah.
So I think -8 because of being in a loud moving tank. Okay, so now you can't tell what kind of engines they are.
I could also, from my position, perhaps stick my head out the top of the tank. Get a bit comfortable with the commander.
I wouldn't let you up.
I mean, like, you guys are on the exact opposite corners of the stations. Like, you would have to go through the loader, up through the commander's feet, climb up onto the hatch, and sit with him. These tanks are not fun to get in and out of.
I am very smart.
Strong as they are.
And I am very curious. I am attempting to do this.
Would this be soldiering?
Yeah.
7 out of 12, I believe.
Alright.
Yeah, soldier's 14, actually. 7 out of 14.
Okay, so yes, you do notice the planes. I mean, they're not cheap like Stukas or any other planes you've seen. Can't see their roundels yet, but, you know, you do see some bombs with your binoculars.
Gunther, video the column to space out and maintain at least a 12-meter distance between each tank.
Yes, I make my way back to radio station. I do this now. What have you noticed, Commandant? I'm very curious.
Enemy planes.
Oh, delightful! We get to do the shooting. I radio the message.
I'm sure the Luftwaffe will deal with them. It is none of our concern as of the moment.
Yes, the undefeatable Luftwaffe, who is present here. Nothing could possibly happen to them in Britain.
As you're coming out, you've finished moving through the town. Coming out, there's a church behind you, but open field, maybe about 200, 300 meters of field on either side before it turns into forest.
Look, I have a Polish Bible. If I steeple my fingers, I have a tiny little church right here. And look inside and see the people.
Tactics, 11 out of 13.
We're rolling tactics. I will do the same.
Alright, so, I mean, judging from what you know of tactics, you made the right call. Dispersing, so that way they have to pick a target and you're harder to hit. It's just single tanks.
I've rolled an 8 out of 14 on tactics.
Okay. Yeah. Just that to be about the best maneuver you can think of as well.
I'm so proud of him. Secretly, if it's in my heart, I know he does not like compliments.
I'm going to keep my eyes on the planes. In case any of them start diving, obviously I'm going to need to close the hatch.
Yeah. Well, sure enough, once they start getting closer and your tanks have pretty much dispersed, they start going down.
Gonna close the hatch then. And buckle up.
Alright. They drop their bombs. And you feel one explode near you. Kind of shakes up the tank. Nobody's dead. The engine doesn't sound like it's on fire or stopping.
Saved by the bomb nerf.
Although you do hear another explosion. And a much bigger one behind you. Somewhere in the fields.
Gonna open the hatch and I guess look towards where the sound came from.
Yep, you sure can.
On my own initiative, I will radio all tanks status report.
Alright. Tank
Tank
number 2. Alright, cool. Tank number 2 gives you a heads up. Tank number 3 gives you a heads up. After a long pause, tank number 5 gives you a heads up. You can see once you open the hatch, you can see one of the tanks is on fire.
Engulfed completely, or
just the engine block? The crew is starting to bail out as fast as they can.
Do we have fire prevention on our tank? Well, I wouldn't know about this yet, but as soon as I know,
We don't. Best you have is probably take your jacket off and try to smother it.
No, you have a small extinguisher. The instructions on it are in check, but it's in there. It counts.
So use would be guess und check. See what I did there. It's called a pun. I'm very good at them. I laugh at them, so it's good for me.
I'm going to wave my hand for the guys getting out of the tank to see me.
One of them does look over, waves his hand back as he's sprinting from the tank.
I'm going to hold a thumbs up.
Alright, he returns the gesture before the plane starts strafing one of the tanks. And he gets down after that. Alright.
I will report on our status to...
It pings.
I will report on our status on the command line of the radio. We are being strafed by aircraft. One tank has been hit by an explosive device.
But,
roll of 12.
Okay. Alright, so you put that line into command. One of the planes strafes your tank. Rounds ping off your steel hull. Not doing anything. You're still getting strafed for a while. Before you hear some more plane engines enter the fray.
Oh, you're getting it now? Papa has come home. Papa Messer. He will show you the error of your face.
You hear more machine gun fire, but none of it hits your tank. There's a knocking at the top hatch, or on the side of the turret, not the top hatch. Can't reach that high.
Back now.
You what?
I'm back now.
Okay, just in time. So somebody starts knocking on the side of your turret.
Gonna open up the hatch.
You see it's the commander of tank number 4. Bit shocked, but he says one of the Polish planes was shot down. So was one of the German planes. Points over to a field far, far ahead. See some lines of smoke drawn in the air.
Is he indicating that the two planes are at least near each other?
I don't know. I just saw 2 of the planes go down. One of ours, one of theirs.
I've never interviewed a Polish pilot. This would be so informative. Let's go find him.
And all your men are safe, Commandant?
Yes, we all made it out without injury. But
Good.
points to the tank that now explodes as the fire reaches the ammunition. Turret goes spiraling off. It's kind
See,
of cool.
he did not research FPE. R.I.P. F's in chat.
Well, head back and meet up with the infantry that is following us. We will continue, and you'll either get redeployed to our division or we'll figure something out.
Yes, Lieutenant. And he starts jogging back. I mean, there's infantry in your division.
I just didn't know. I mean, indicating that he needs to go find them, since I think they also probably took cover in some surrounding area.
Guppy's plugging her headphone jack into an apple. She's not listening. She just likes plugging it.
into an apple?
Yes.
Like the fruit.
47 stab wounds!
Okay.
I'm gonna drive a head full on the road. We're gonna go see about those crashed planes.
Alright. And he starts gunning it forward.
Find something to hang on to!
Tanks 2, 3, and 5 follow 12-meter spacing as usual.
And they follow behind in a nice long line. Put in there.
I'm gonna make my way up toward the turret, pushing the loader out of the way, I guess, using the back of Hero's head for leverage, and get eyes on Herr Commandant, and see if there's perhaps anything worth salvaging in the wreck of that aircraft.
Is there anything in like the map compartments or any of the pockets inside of the aircraft?
Well, first off, the status of the pilot.
Dead.
Oh, that's too bad.
Do I need to make scrounging to look in the map compartments or inside his jacket? I'm gonna toss the medical supplies and the rations to Gunther and take some maps with me and stuff them in my breast pocket, and then head back to the tank and
resume your journey.
Climb back on top, since I don't know if Toshio came back yet.
Oh yeah, I followed you back in. I'm in.
Okay. Yeah, I'll let Toshio get in first.
When I showed up, he tossed me some medical supplies and rations, and I just headed back to the tank, assuming you wanted me to stash them.
Awesome.
So now those are in our inventory. How much do those weigh?
Let's say 2 pounds.
Now we have a German pilot to rescue. Surely he survived. He carries a parachute.
Yeah, full speed onto the next smoke signal.
Well, I mean, there is no other smoke signal, though.
Not smoke signal, smoke column, I guess.
I mean, looking around, you don't see one. I mean,
it's almost like
there was one up in the sky, but it's kind of dissipated. You can't tell where the plane landed.
I guess we'll just hop back on the road and continue to our next objective. I think it would still be primarily down the road we were going.
Yep, still on the road.
Creaking places that we've never creaked before. Good to be on the road again. Well, even without the skill, I could take a crack at it if he wants to show the documents around.
Do you want to show the documents around?
No.
You want to share?
With your best buddy?
No, there's no like reasonably, yes, as a person who would want to do a reasonable thing, but as a character, there's no reason for a higher commander of a tank to show documents to his crew, unless like I was like, I just can't read this map, and you were like, I think I could.
You must never get bored then. You have counted on me so many times for the better strategies. I'm saddened that you did not look to me in this intent.
It's mainly that you just told me the strategy. It's not like I've ever asked you to do it.
Well, I do not see the difference, but we will carry on with our lives. I'm sure you'll learn
I've never
to
been
trust
like,
me as this.
Gunther, I want your opinion on this matter. Please, tell me your tactics for this battle.
This sounds oddly familiar to other points in my life. Oh, and it just occurred to me, Butler, I would have access to a Bible among my personal belongings, wouldn't I?
Oh, yeah, like a German one? Yeah.
So I have a German Bible and a Polish Bible, both of which have verses, which are probably, well, I'm going to just start pairing them side by side and trying to learn as much Polish language written as I can. That's what I've been doing in my spare time. I don't sleep much.
Let's hope they're both King James.
Well, I mean, Germany is mostly Protestant. Poland is mostly
Catholic.
Orthodox?
Orthodox Catholic.
Orthodox.
Let me look.
Well, we could roll to see what kind of Bible it is.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they'd only have...
Poland has an extremely diverse culture. They would have a variety.
Well, they've certainly got more Jews. But
For
not
the
for
time
long.
being.
Currently, they're 87% Catholic.
That's currently. But, yeah, we'll assume it's Catholic.
Okay, so there's some extra books as well.
Religion in Poland, Old Catholic. Yeah. So, like Orthodox.
Well, we'll say that it's in Latin, then.
Oh, good!
With,
that doesn't help. Wait, but
there are some notes in Polish.
When I wanted a Polish Bible, I would have looked for one that was written in Polish. I guess that was sort of what I meant.
I think it's assumed that most Polish Bibles are in Latin.
Yeah, they're
It
Catholic.
could be a Jewish Bible.
It's called the Torah.
No, most of the common well, it gets complicated, but
I mean, even then, this would be the average Bible
in Hebrew. An average Jew in Poland or Germany or whatever didn't have a very high likelihood of being familiar with Hebrew. There'd be lots of written translations.
True, but
to the point where things written in actual Hebrew would be rare. But anyway, I was looking for a book written in Polish. Yeah.
Well, should've. I mean, it's like the verses are in Latin, but there's notes on the side in Polish.
That's less useful. I was hoping for something I could cross-translate.
But okay.
Catholics don't make study Bibles. Do you know nothing about Catholicism? Hey, baby!
There are instructions in Polish. Well, as a GM, I'm going to say that this, small town of maybe 100 buildings didn't have any, or that you were able to find anyway. You spent 4 hours of that day working on the tank. The rest buying chocolate and bullying children.
Okay, so I have a Bible written in Latin with Polish notes.
Yes.
Useless. I'm gonna go ahead and just toss it.
Alright.
If I wanted a Catholic Bible, I would have asked a Catholic. I'll give it to a Catholic. That's what. Well, no, they don't have a use for it anyway. I've tossed it. Stupid Catholic Bible. Useless. You might have noticed my character's a Protestant.
Well,
13 out of 12, so no.
Also, I'm going to need you, Toshio, before September 9th, say September 6th, that you have to write a letter to your wife and kids at least once a month.
So, you know how I've been making these diary... Oh, didn't I get some... I didn't get anything for the girls. I ended up working on the tank. Oh, I'm such a bad dad.
You're gonna get divorced now, bro. It's over.
Now you have to take all those points back and new penalties. I suggest drinking problems. Manic depression's always good. You can take that as a disadvantage.
Poverty.
Probably gonna have to take that as well.
Okay, but for now, I think I'll have to call it a day because I got daddy things to do, and we've been going on for a good amount.
Yeah. I gotta research the Battle of Vistula for you guys.
Ah, delightful.
Alright, sounds good, everyone. Glad y'all had a good time.
Yeah, I had a good time. Catch you next time, bud.